All right. So if you are listening right now, what I would like to see is if you head over to the Party Shark on your island, you'll notice that a few temporary rooms have become available. So only for the period of this voice chat, you'll be able to enter some of these rooms. So it looks like a lot of people are in the Pumpkin Plaza at the moment. I'm going to jump over to the beach party and see who's there and hang out there. It might be good to get a team member in one in each room.
Let me see. Headquarters, mate. Going to the office.
And so with rooms now, they're capped at 50 people, very similar to a Club Penguin style. And this is just to help with the load issues, the lag issues as well. So hopefully for those people in the party at the moment, you should notice that it's easy to move around. There's no sort of bugs. You can see everyone. Last time, the last few Pumpkin Plazas, you'd often just see a pool of people that were stuck at the bottom. And there's some really cool stuff that we're gonna do around with the parties. We're gonna tie some of these into seasonal events as well. So for those familiar with Club Penguin, oftentimes you'd be able to find a NPC, whether it's the captain or another rare NPC that randomly spawns, and interacting with them, you would get free items, or you could purchase rare items off them as well. So we're going to be looking to do pretty similar content. So while you're waiting for your crops, it's always going to be a good idea just to pop into the party sections and check out what's happening, because you don't want to miss out on something rare. What room is everyone in the moment?
I'm in the
I'm at
plaza.
headquarters with Hazman.
Headquarters, we've got about 5 of us here.
Nice.
That's where it's at.
My computer is having a connection, so I'm in nowhere, but I will get somewhere soon.
So something we'd need something we need to test with the real users is maxing out a room with 50 people. See what the experience feels like. Yeah, we've got about 8 or 9 at the beach party right now, so it's popping over here. Who's number 7?
That's me.
Welcome, mate.
Yep.
I think that's the party attire, the shark outfit, the shark onesie everyone wants.
Yeah, this is the rarity. I'm the only shark here.
I think everyone's following you, Roulette. As soon as you came in, another 10 people has just jumped in. I'm guessing there's Decol, number 24, in that room. Always testing the limits of our technology. Okay, so we'll leave the parties running. Oh wow, the beach party's going off at the moment. We'll leave these parties going at the moment. They're kind of experimental temporary features while we do our voice chats. Jump in, helps us find bugs, helps us test it. But this is hopefully something that's going to be coming out over the following months and give all the bumpkins a cool place to hang out. Today's session, we're going to be jumping into the Solar Flare season, which is launching tomorrow. Guys, is there any other topics that you wanted to cover today?
Not really. I think everyone is expecting the seasons to just start, mate. Everyone is so excited for the tickets to start collecting tickets. I think that's what everyone wants.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited for it. Like, there's been a lot of great community feedback since the initial proposal went up. And a lot of that has been incorporated into what the upcoming season's going to look like, and I think everybody's going to be really happy with it.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll jump into it then. So, I guess before we do get into the weeds, we do want to talk about why we are doing a seasonal approach. And I guess the main driving factor here is that we constantly want to be releasing exciting content and items for players to collect. One of the issues we had before, though, was that as soon as we released an item, it would sell out instantly. And there'd often be some blockchain errors or API errors just because there was so much load. And so what the Solar Flare season and seasons in general does is it introduces a new resource that is needed that no player has at the start of the season. For this season, it's called a Solar Flare ticket. And so essentially all players start on an equal level and everyone must go through a range of quests and fulfilling grub shop orders to accumulate enough tickets. And so as of tomorrow, when Solar Flare season starts, all of those items are going to become instantly available at the Goblin Blacksmith. However, no one's going to have the required seasonal tickets for a few days to mint the easy level items, and it'll take roughly 5 or 6 weeks to mint the really difficult items, which in this case, Rummy, is it the Cabbage Boy or is it Cabbage Girl, which is now the top tiered item?
It's the Cabbage Girl.
Nice. Nice. And so this season, which is starting tomorrow, it's our inaugural season, our first ever. We're obviously experimenting with a few different ways and we will take on a lot of feedback. The first thing to notice is that we've kind of started mid-season. So most of these seasons would last for 3 months. Solar Flare season is lasting for roughly 7 weeks. And the reason being is that the seasons are going to align with a lot of different aspects in the game. When a new season comes in, it's going to rotate all these seasonal items. It's going to rotate the Treasure Island items, and it's also going to introduce some new resources, whether that's crops and a bunch of mutant animals. And the Solar Flare season is starting tomorrow and only lasting 7 weeks so that it lines up with the current schedule at Treasure Island. And so Treasure Island is already 5 weeks into its season. And so we wanted to ensure that we lined up the Solar Flare season so everything is on the right schedule once this starts up. And so as of tomorrow, if you're a player, your goal is to start collecting as many Solar Flare tickets as possible. The 3 main ways that you can get seasonal tickets is firstly going to the grub shop, and every time you sell a meal there, so each meal that you have in the grub shop, you will receive 10 seasonal tickets. That's like a bonus item that you get. You also get the SFL that you would have previously got. You can also go visit Hayseed Hank at Helios. So this is a new quest system that is currently on testnet and will be launching tomorrow. And Hayseed Hank is very interesting because these are quests that you have never done before. So I'm just going to drop the docs in the farmers chat here. The way that Hayseed Hanks works is that it's an old retired farmer who is just looking for help with their chores. And the chores can range from harvesting crops, gathering resources, cooking food, and much more. It could literally be any action inside of the game. The idea being that as you progress throughout the game and complete these challenges, the following challenges become harder, but they also yield much higher seasonal tickets. Romy, how many quests or chores are there available at the moment?
At the moment, 84 or 85, yeah.
Gotcha. And so the way that these chores work is that everyone starts on the same chore, which is harvest 25 sunflowers. Once they complete that chore, they move on to the second chore in a chronological order. And you do that all the way up until the last chore. And at the moment, once you do the last chore, it takes you back to the beginning. We are looking at a mechanic that once you complete the last chore, it then randomly cycles through all of the chores. The idea being behind this is that we don't want players to prepare everything in advance. Obviously, if you've got resources or food ready, that will help you. But we didn't want it to become too predictable for players. We wanted it to be a bit exciting and give everyone that fair chance of having to like complete this quest. And so Hayseed Hank is a great way that you essentially just have to complete these activities. You don't need to burn any resources. If Hayseed Hank asks you to harvest 25 sunflowers, you don't need to give him those 25 sunflowers. It's just like a mini in-game challenge. If he asks you to chop down 5 trees, that's all you have to do. You don't have to give him the wood. It's just like these nice little in-game quests that will get you these seasonal tickets. Romy, before I move on, is there anything you want to add around the new chore system?
No, I think you covered it all. There's one thing. There's no time per challenge. You can. It's not like a chore per day. As soon as you finish one, you can move to the next. And it's not like the war, for example. You don't need to donate anything. You need to just perform actions in game to be able to complete the chores. So there's this difference with the war. I saw some people mentioning the war as an example, but it's more similar to the quests, where you have to do something, and then as soon as you reach the number of actions required, you can move on to the next one.
Yeah, there's a good question in here, Romy, as well. What is the max tickets per chore?
If you are a hardcore player and you go through all of them, I think the one that gives the max is, just let me check here actually. I think it's 25.
Nice.
But I would say that is a quite challenging one. Actually, it's 20. Sorry, 20 is the max one. Yeah, but there's chores that give you 12, 10, 13, 14, and they all scatter around the 80 something chores that we have in total.
Nice. And so the extra way that you can also get these solar flare tickets, you can get those from the grub shop, the Hayseed Hank chores. You can also get one each day in your daily reward chest. There is one additional way as well, is that you can get these items by harvesting crops. So similar to how you find bonus seeds and rewards when harvesting crops, you'll also get the chance of finding one solar flare ticket. And the way that this works is, obviously harvesting sunflowers doesn't have the same chance as harvesting radishes. It works on a weighted scale. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like you need to harvest hundreds of sunflowers for the odds of finding one solar flare ticket, whereas you only need to harvest a few dozen radishes to find a solar flare ticket. Romy, I know that's your piece of work. Did I explain that in a clear way? Is there anything you would add?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're biased because we're building this thing. Maybe it's good if we get questions from the community, because as we were talking before, like it's clear to us, but sometimes it's not as clear to people listening. Maybe if we get a couple of questions.
Hayseed Hank asked me to wear my underwear only. Is this part of the quest?
That sounds like a good opportunity to add a sheriff.
I think people are really excited just to get into the plaza, mate. They're asking how to get in there. I know the HQ is pumping. So many people here.
All right, I'm gonna jump in the HQ. Oh, this is where it's at. We've got the dungeon in the HQ, the little computers that you can come over.
That's the best sport, mate. The best sport in town.
Let's write some.
Hell. Writing about.
Awesome. So, I guess the takeaway here is that players earn Solar Flare tickets by completing in-game challenges, and these challenges, they don't require you to burn items. You just get these bonus tickets. So you're essentially getting free Solar Flare tickets throughout the season. And players that obviously have expanded a lot more, they'll be able to get more Solar Flare tickets as the quests are easier and they can fulfill more grub shop orders. However, new players will still be able to get a significant amount of tickets. The daily chore, not just the Hayseed Hank chores, they get progressively harder. So you'll be able to do a lot of them at the beginning. That may slow down midway through. At the grub shop, there's always going to be some easy orders that you can cook there as well. And the end goal is that we've got lots of different items that are available to mint. Some of these require lots of Solar Flare tickets, and those are targeted at the sort of longer term players or the hardcore players, the ones that are going to spend a lot of time completing quests on their land. But we're also going to launch a bunch of easier, more accessible items for new players or people that are just more casual, that they don't want to spend hours in the game each day. And so if we dive into these items, I'm going to share these docs in the farmers chat here. We're going to go through each of these items and how they work. The first thing to note is that during the Solar Flare season, the Goblin Blacksmith will be offering a range of rare items. These items are only available until the end of the season. Okay, so when the season ends, you won't be able to get any more seasonal tickets. We will likely leave the minting open for a couple extra days just to let people who are taking their time to mint their items. Then after that, they will be removed from the blacksmith. So this is a once in a lifetime chance to mint these items. Once the season ends, you'll only be able to get these by trading with other players. The first item off the ranks is the beach ball. And you'll notice a lot of these items have a summary solar theme to them. The beach ball is a decoration, is colorful and bouncy, great addition to your beach paradise. There's 20,000 of these. They cost 3 gold and 50 Solar Flare tickets. So this is the easiest item that you can get during the season. It's a nice little one there. I'll get one for sure, and I'll try to trade to get a few more. I think with the upcoming decorations and landscaping, it's going to be really nice if I can set up a little beach area on my own island. Next up, we've got Karkanos, the giant crab, defender of gods, and cabbage. So a bit of mythology there around the Karkanos crab, who, I forget exactly which god he helped in a battle. Unfortunately, they died, but they died a hero, and also lines up well with crop cycles. So the Karkanos, that gives you a bonus 0.1 cabbage. There's 7,500 of these. It requires 500 cabbage, 3 gold, 5 crabs, and 350 Solar Flare tickets. So already this is much more difficult than the beach ball. Players do need to collect significant cabbage and quite a lot of Solar Flare tickets. We predict that people can probably get a Karkanos in a week, if that's what they focused on. However, a lot of the players will be focusing on other items, which is part of the fun gameplay. It's if you're looking at these items, are you going to play it safe and try get 4 or 5 of the low mid-tier items, or are you going to risk it and try get one of the high-tier items? The risk being is that the high-tier items might sell out before you get your chance to mint it, and those mid-tier items might also be gone by players that have got those. So you got to be very, very careful with what items you're going for, and pay attention. Once you start seeing some of these minting and selling out, you've got in mind which one you're going to be able to get. Next up, we've got the collectible bear. Great decoration. 750 of these. Requires 1 basic bear, 5 gold, and 250 solar flare tickets. We've got the cabbage boy. This is a really nice one. You get 0.25 cabbage as a buff. There's only 1,000 of these. It requires quite a lot of ingredients. So 2,000 cabbage, 15 gold, and 700 solar flare tickets. The really cool thing about the cabbage boy is it's our first combinational SFT, which means if you also have the cabbage girl on your farm, the buff of the cabbage boy is going to increase to plus 0.4, which I think it's something we want to explore more and more, is like this combination of SFTs and the proximity to each other, what bonus boosts they can give you in the game. Next up, we've got the prize possession. This is the hardest item to get. That is the cabbage girl. If you get the cabbage girl, cabbages grow twice as fast. There's only 350 of these. It requires 2,000 cabbages, 25 gold, and 1,000 solar flare tickets. So we're predicting roughly it'll take 4 weeks for the most hardcore player to get the cabbage girl. Other people going for this, it'll be roughly around 5 to 6 weeks. So it's really going to be cutting it short near the end of the season. So if you are going for this item, make sure that you've got enough time left in the season. If you don't, you might have to reassess and aim for some other items. Last up is the palm tree, which is a really cool decoration that the artist created. There's a supply of 500, and the requirements, because the supply is low, the requirements are quite high. 1,000 wood, 10 gold, and 300 solar flare tickets. Romy, I know you've been working hard on a lot of these items. Is there anything you want to add?
No, mate, you covered it all the single details. There was just a question that went up there and being asked if they need to go to a Helios each time they want to complete a chore. And yes, you need to go to the new NPC south of Helios, and then once you complete the chore, you need to collect your rewards. That will be the season tickets, the solar flare tickets, and sometimes you might even get some extra items in there, like seeds or even a couple of tools. And then you have to accept the next chore. So yes, you have to go to Helios each time you complete a chore. Sorry, mate. It was just a question that it was a simple. We think it's clear, but people might get confused. But about the items, I've seen people commenting as well that we changed the Karkinos from kale to cabbage. Yes, we did that. Do you have a comment on that, Adam? Do you want to say anything about it, or?
I think it was based on feedback from the community. The community really likes the tier system that has been launched before. The beavers is a good example. The scarecrows are a good example. And we wanted to follow suit here where all of the items were related to cabbage. And it has that whole tier idea around it, which I think works quite nicely. And the other reason we did that is because since this item is going to be aimed at sort of mid-level players, cabbage is actually more useful, and players in that arena, they do use cabbage more than kale. So that was the thought process around that.
Yes, so this will get newer players going, trying to get that Takinos as well. We're trying to sort of spread these SFTs throughout all the all the players, even if they're not as leveled up as the big whales. But yeah,
That's
sorry if you were waiting for the kale.
Yeah, I think the other one, which was quite a big change, is we didn't include the auctioneer for this season. So that was something we were prototyping quite a lot. It's still a very risky feature and controversial feature that it just didn't feel right launching it with the seasons. It doesn't mean that we're going to scrap it completely, but we're not going to set any expectations that this will be added into the game. There's lots of problems, challenges around that need to be solved first. So for simplicity, we decided that, you know what, let's not bundle this up in the season. There's already a lot of things happening. And so those items that were in the auctioneer, the collectible bear, that has been moved into the blacksmith. And that's one of the seasonal items that you need solar flare tickets. I've just seen Pedro in the farmers chat say, when potato wearable, I want to be a potato. That's a great idea. Little Lines, who is our talented bumpkin designer, I did see them at the beach party before, so I hope they're listening. It'd be great to see if we had some ideas around a potato onesie. I would love to see that. I've actually got we could do a whole set of crop onesies.
We definitely could.
Yeah. If we ever add bananas into the game, I'll have a very special surprise.
A matching photo.
You heard it here first. We'll dress up as crops. When we launch these onesies, we will dress up as them. When banana trees. Yeah. So this is, I think if we had a lot more time before solar flare season, we would be looking to add either a crop or a fruit, and a banana would have been a great choice there. So this isn't locked in, but where the headspace is right now is that these seasons, we're going to batch up a lot of exciting content with them, all these cool items, but also looking to add resources in the mix as well. So always cool things to be looking forward to. Lots of coconut and potatoes getting dropped in the farmers chat here. There's a few more questions here. I'm just going to finish off the rest of the seasons, and then we can dive into a few of these topics. Romy, sounded like you were about to jump in.
Oh yeah, there was a question why the items didn't stack, the khaki nose and the cabbage boy. And this is so if, for example, if you are a more advanced player and you want to get the cabbage boy, even if you want to get cabbage boy and khaki nose, what would you choose if you could get the cabbage boy? I guess you would go for the cabbage boy. And then not stacking means the whales will need to choose, or they can even mint, but the boost won't stack. So the khaki nose, it's more for the newer players. So if you feel like you won't be able to make it the cabbage boy, you can focus on the khaki nose, and vice versa. If you know, that was the idea behind not stacking, so the whales don't just get all the items and stack them up. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Awesome. So also with the seasons, as you know, there's all these treasure island items out there. They're only going to last for the rest of the season, roughly 50, 60 days. If you're interested in those items, don't waste your time. Start digging and find those. We're also going to have some rare Bumpkin wearables available. So we're not exactly sure how these are going to be launched. There's quite a lot of cool ideas being floated around. If you do check out the art here, there's some really cool lifeguards and there's a really cool dress as well. So these are community artists that have contributed these. They're really cool wearables. Some of the ways we can do this is some basic Bumpkin quests. I'm also interested in following Club Penguin's suit and NPCs appearing at random times throughout the day. And if you chat with them, if you say nice things to them, they will let you mint rare pieces of their clothing, which I think it's cool. We're always trying to experiment with new ideas, and I'd love there to be more incentive to visit these party rooms as well. So that's something on our radar. We will be looking to launch these cool wearables throughout the season as well. And so that kind of wraps up seasons. This is something Romy and myself have been working tirelessly over the last couple weeks. Craig and Spencer, I know you guys you've been in the weeds with multiple Bumpkins. What are your thoughts around seasons?
Mate, I'm all for seasons, honestly. I think it's such a great approach. It keeps the game fresh, in my opinion, which is a huge benefit. Even if you're not playing on this season, you can get a fresh start in the next season, which is I think that's a really good thing for players. Things pop up in life, and sometimes you need to focus on other things, and then you can come back and get back into it at your leisure. So I really like that. I think having that flexibility for players is awesome. I also love the flexibility for us as a team. We can introduce, I think I've said this before on stream, we can introduce mechanics in a season, and if there's another mechanic and we want to introduce, we're not bound to the previous mechanic. We can juggle the mechanics that are active at any given season, which every season becomes a brand new game in a way. So I think that's a really, really cool part of seasons. That's what I'm looking forward to as a developer and also as a player. So yeah, I love the work that you guys have been doing.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam. I was going to say, yeah, I'm excited for it too. At first, I'm not going to lie, at first I was upset because I want to mint everything. I'm kind of one of those people that I see anything and I kind of want to have it. But that has fallen apart lately because I'm, like Adam mentioned, in the weeds with Bumpkin and haven't had much time to play on my farm. So I'm falling behind. That. So it's time for me to just accept the inevitable and realize that seasons are cool. I agree with that. It's a big part of the cow proposal that has been put forward. So I am a believer of that. And now that I've admitted defeat in regards to owning everything, I am on board for the seasonal approach with the rare items. I'm actually super excited. Like they said, Craig and I have kind of been siloed off working on something else. So it was really great to hear this kind of description of how it's going to work. And I'm definitely excited to take part in it.
Yeah, me too. I'm just going to pop in the chat here and see if anyone has any questions around the seasons and how it's going to work. Now's the time. Roulette, what are your thoughts around seasons?
I'm really excited for the seasons. There's one thing we've seen over the past year. It's that we never quite know what to expect from the players. They're always coming up with new and creative strategies on how to optimize and do things efficiently. And I'm just curious to see what kind of strategies start popping up around seasons, because I know they're going to think of some things we haven't thought of. And it's just seeing people work together and come together as a community and help each other out and be like, hey, if you do this way and that way, that's going to be the most efficient thing. you know, it's just great to see.
Like, Carrot counter. Any thoughts?
Yeah, just same here. Echoing what's been said before, looking forward to keeping the game fresh and the new content still coming in a structured way.
Anyone in the Pumpkin Plaza, it is going off right now. I don't know if we're at our limit or our capacity. I think we've got a lot of people in here. A lot of people and a lot of languages being spoken, which is great to see. I see a question from D. Cole. Will seasons ever affect the main island gameplay? Will there be a drought season that makes growing some stuff harder, or a season that will make iron gold yield less or more? I really want to explore these ideas. Right now, we're just at the surface level of seasons. The ideas we do want to explore is that, like, during a season, all the items may change color. Like, if it's an autumn related season or if it's a magic season, everything gets a little magical tinge to it. I definitely do see it change some of the prices as well of items, which would be really cool, where each season you got to come up with these new strategies, or your strategy might change as well, keeping everyone on their toes. We don't have anything locked in for this solar flare one, but seasons is something that seems like a really great idea.
Did Adam just drop?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I was
was gonna
wondering.
say, like, was that just me, or did anybody else hear that too?
Yeah. I was like, it's probably
I thought that was
my
me as
AirPods or
well.
something. Yeah.
Old mate Adam, we lost you.
Adam in space. Who pulled the cord?
Yeah, Adam has been flung out to space.
Yeah, seems like he took Harry with him. Oh, Adam says he can hear everything. Adam, you might have to leave and rejoin just to reestablish the connection to Discord, bud.
I like that. Adam.exe, stop responding.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness.
He's back.
Can you guys hear me?
There
Yeah,
we
mate.
go. We can hear you now.
That was so strange because it didn't cut off for me. I could hear everyone perfectly.
Yeah, it sounded like your computer or your internet or something just hard lock and dropped.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I was just saying how hyped I was for the seasons, and we're going to be experimenting with a lot of concepts, so nothing's off the table. All right, so there's a question here. I think we can move on from land expansion. There's a question here, is land expansion node balancing coming? What do you think about it? Yeah, so we've actually made what appears to be a final decision on a very long-running proposal, the node balancing proposal. Yes. So Romy and I have just finished the seasons, and now we're going to pick up some tickets. There's a lot to do, a lot on our radar. There's a lot of the buildings that we want to launch, like the tool shed, the lumberjack, the quarry. There's a lot of the buffs, like the bonus scarecrow, the bale, all these cool things that help farmers. There's the resource balancing, there's landscaping. There's a whole lot of these, probably about 6 or 7 tasks that all in total aren't these mammoth tasks. There's just a lot of them. And so we'll keep you updated. We're going to do a bit of a planning session on Thursday as a team to figure out what order we tackle these tickets. We'll probably do bits and pieces here and there. I can't give you the exact dates that node balancing is going to start, but it is high up on that list. But I guess the takeaway is if node balancing takes a week longer, it means because you're getting some cool items like the scarecrows, the tractor, the wheelbarrow and whatnot. So I don't think people will be disappointed, and hopefully they understand that that extra week was worth it because there's these other cool items coming in. We're going to be heavily content focused. I guess, for the next 5-6 weeks. When more skills is another question. So that's one of those items that we've got that design locked in for a bunch of new skills. Same as before. We've got, that's one of the 6 or 7 tasks that we've got lined up. It's not a mammoth task. It's just something that we will be ticking off over the coming months. When fruit selling? That's an interesting one. Once all the fruit items mint out, I guess we can enable trading. Guys, there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to enable withdrawals and trading on fruit once the fruit SFTs have minted.
No, I don't think there's any reason why not. That was the initial reason, right? Is that we wanted everyone to have their own fair chance at getting the SFTs. So for the ones that are minted out, Blackberry, yeah, I think it's all good.
Nice. So what's the roadmap questions popping up here? Someone's asked about the beans. Will that come out tomorrow? The artists are currently designing that right now. So it is in progress. Takes a long time to design all of these mutant crops and all these really cool ideas. I was chatting with Gabby this morning and she had some nice ideas about how we can make the magic beans feature a bit more interesting. So that's in the design phase at the moment and it's in the pipeline.
I think it's probably worth there's a lot of when questions, and there are a lot of things that are kind of on the roadmap that we've been talking about for a while, but I do think it's kind of important to give a little bit of context to where we're at the moment. As Adam kind of talked about, Adam and Romy have been, the team kind of split up to work on some 2 different kind of paths, I guess. Craig and I took on multiple pumpkins and Romy and Adam kind of split to get the seasonal stuff out the door. But the work that Craig and I have been working on is kind of a very big architecture change. So it's kind of meant that, the rapid kind of, building of features has slowed a little bit because what we're working on has taken a little bit longer than we expected. But earlier this week, we did kind of regroup and talk about the roadmap and kind of get a clearer focus of where we're pointing it. And we will be moving into a lot of these new buildings and things that you kind of see on the roadmap. So we will kind of get back onto the path of kind of building these features and having a lot of those when questions answered. But I think it's important to kind of give context to the fact that we have been working on a very big architecture piece, which has kind of split down, the team so that we haven't had that same rapid ability to get stuff out there. Just wanted to kind of voice that.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, we are starting to come up on the end of the hour here. Did y'all want to go ahead and start bringing some people up to talk?
Let's do it.
Alright, so if you got any questions or comments or anything and want to get a chance to talk with the devs and have them answer you directly, go ahead and raise your... Oh, we've already got somebody raising their hand. But yeah, just raise your hand in the stage and we'll go ahead and bring you up. We'll try to get to as many people as we can in these last few minutes. And Vasily, I've sent you an invite to come up to speak.
Hey guys,
Welcome.
can you hear
Hey,
me?
welcome.
Yep.
Yes.
So my question would be, what will be the team's priority after the successful implementation of seasons?
Yes.
What-
Good question. So that's one of the roadmap ones. Romy and myself, I guess tomorrow, we're going to be looking in to a few of the buildings and SFTs to launch them into the game. And so that's relating to the farming equipment and buildings proposal. So this is where you have things like the sprinklers, the bale, the tractor, the buildings like the tool shed, which increases your stock. We're not going to implement all of these. We're just going to implement a few of these And then we're likely going to jump onto some of the resource balancing and the landscaping items as well. So we're going to be jumping a bit around. The reason we're picking up those tickets is this quarter, we're really trying to focus on improving the onboarding and progression for new players. And we believe adding these items, these new farming equipment and these new buildings gives a lot more motivation for new players and helps them progress throughout the game.
I see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I just posted the link on the Thomas chat. You can have a read if you're interested in it.
Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joining us.
Thanks for coming up, Vasily. And we had a couple more hand raises. Captain Dank Rabbit sent you an invite.
Hello.
Welcome, Captain Dank Rabbit. I've been seeing you in Discord the last couple of weeks. You're,
Yeah,
man.
hanging out.
What's happening, Dank?
Not much. Long time watcher, first time speaker. Will the chest ever make a comeback to Pumpkin Plaza?
Yes, it is. Were you're looking for it in the plaza? It's not there. The free food.
I ran through everyone. Beautiful time.
Mate,
That's all I had. Thanks, boys.
No worries, mate. Always a pleasure. Yeah, I think
Adam,
with
how do you start a party with no food? What's up?
these bumpkins are looking for free handouts in the plaza. Yeah, there'll be. The way we're looking at it is that we want to have some special NPCs in each of these rooms. Also have some chances to get rare decorations or farming equipment, and also get rewards as well. So there'll be a lot of cool reasons to be visiting these rooms. The first one is just to go talk with friends, meet the other bumpkins, invite them back to your farm.
I've seen some pretty good deals on some crops show up just since we started this dev chap in the beach room. We're getting a line now. Let's go ahead and try to get some more people up. Kuya Digi, I've sent you an invite. I probably pronounced that wrong.
Hey guys.
Welcome. How's it going?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All good.
Perfect. Yeah. Kuya Digi sounds perfect. So I just have a question. I was kind of spamming the chat about previously I'd heard somebody talking about the possibility of doing actual like gameplay with your bumpkins. And, I'm kind of more of a collector and was more looking, I like the Farmville aspect of the game. But I really am looking for something like actionable that I can do with my character, like the concept of the dungeon or the adventure, or hitting the boat and then going to an island that has several layers of stuff to do to kind of get maybe resources that way, or to finish a little quest and that kind of things. I know that's probably something far on down the road, but is it something you guys ever thinking about incorporating in the game? And if not, why not?
I think everything's open at this point. In terms of the bumpkins, you may have noticed we actually launched it as a completely separate NFT project. And the reason being is that we kind of want bumpkins as a concept to transcend Sunflowerland, whether it's used as the dynamic clothing project or whether it's used in other games. And we're already experimenting with some of these concepts. I guess we're still a new game and a novice industry, and we're always looking at different ideas and what we can do with bumpkins. Lately with the Pumpkin Plaza, where you can actually go walk around and talk, we're getting a lot of great feedback from that. And so we definitely see it might not go the exact RPG style inside of Sunflower Land. But you will be able to use your bumpkin for things like social farming, where you've just got to do challenges with your friends, whether it's helping them farm or helping them gather resources on a certain island. That's kind of the gameplay that we're looking for. Still keep it casual and around resource gathering,
Sure.
but probably wouldn't go the RPG dungeon style approach.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are doing a great job otherwise.
No worries. Thanks for coming up.
All right, we got a couple more people here. And Delta Omega, I've sent you an invite.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and
Yes,
clear.
we can.
Welcome.
My thing is I've noticed like on OpenSea and stuff, there are quite a few bumpkins for really, really cheap. Like there's a definite surplus of bumpkins at the moment compared to active players. And I was thinking what you guys would, your thoughts on possibly making buildings when multiple bumpkins become a thing. Making it so you have to install one of your bumpkins into a building to make the building function.
That's a cool idea. I think with bumpkins, we do want to explore a bit more interactivity. Whether that be moving them around your farm or using them for area of effect impact. I think we're open to ideas like that, where at least you could supercharge a building if you put a bumpkin into it. We haven't tried that idea yet, but now it's on our radar. So thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like either making it a requirement for the building to function at all, of course, aside from the fire pit, or even you can have a helper bumpkin in each building that'll boost production or something.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. What do you guys think?
I'm just seeing
Yeah, I
a
like the
bumpkin
idea.
driving a tractor around the farm now.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's tons of opportunities with bumpkins. I think it's actually a really massive area that we could explore in so many different ways. So I think that idea is definitely something that we can consider. We've just got it's kind of like it'll grow into something amazing. But I think the opportunities are really endless for sure.
It could even open up another tree for skills, specifically for when they're equipped into a building.
Love the ideas.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat
I like
idea.
the
I like
idea.
that.
Because I would think that when everything's said and done, you want enough points for your bumpkin, each bumpkin, to be able to maybe do 1/3 to 1/2 of the total skills available.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I think it's kind of limitless. As everyone playing knows, there's not this definitive roadmap for the exact gameplay that we're going to produce. We're just always looking for new ideas, and we're always experimenting. We've definitely found the game aspects that players love, but we're always looking for new features and ideas as well. So thanks for coming up and sharing.
Hey, not a problem. On that line, maybe we'll be able to level up your buildings like you level up your bumpkins. That may be one last little point I'd like to get before I leave.
Yeah, so when I think it was Romy and I were working on this initially, the idea was that you could upgrade buildings. The reason we didn't do it is because I guess the first idea was that you had a fire pit upgraded to a kitchen, upgraded to a bakery. The reason we didn't do it is because we needed players to use up more of their available land, and placing 2 buildings uses up more land than just having 1 building and upgrading that. So that was kind of the initial design decision. It makes land more of like a scarce resource that players need to think about which buildings or which items they actually place on their land.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty good for having multiple buildings going at the same time too. Like you can have the fire pit, the bakery, and the deli all going at the same time instead of them just being upgraded into one building with one slot.
It definitely would have slowed down bumpkin progression a lot.
Yeah. All right, and it looks like we got one more person wanting to come up here to speak, so I'm gonna go ahead and send the Formalin an invite. Alright, Formalin, I've sent you an invite. If you're there, you should see a little icon on like the bottom middle of your Discord. It'll bring you up to stage so you can talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you alright.
Just one quick thing. First of all, you guys are doing a great job with the game. I love it. There was only one thing when you have these recurrent captchas that come up for the treasure chest for taking your red envelopes or whatever it is, the seasonal thing. If we're gonna do these seasons where every season we have something that you're collecting, is there a way to do it where you don't have to, go through the captcha and take the, have the thing come up and go through the treasure chest? Because, when you're doing sunflowers or something like that, it can be, fairly annoying to have so many pop-ups. So I'm just wondering if it's going to be different at all from the red envelopes and that kind of thing. That's the only thing I can come up with because I really love the idea of the seasons, and I think you guys are doing a great job. That's the only thing. I don't want to get annoyed by that, and I don't know if that's something that would bother me.
I think that's fair feedback. That there's too many captures when you've got stuff dropping on sunflowers and those crop switch take a short amount of time. I think we can limit that, yes.
Okay, that's it. That's it. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Adam, if you were going to say something. Hopefully it was in the same mindset.
That was the same thing. It is annoying, even for myself, and it's an antibody mechanism, but we can definitely lessen it. Once people have solved a few captures, we can just quiet it down a little bit.
Sounds great.
Alright, that looks like it's pretty much everybody. If you guys got any final words to say to the community before we disperse?
Yeah, I think I would like to thank everybody for their feedback. I love that people getting on stage. I think that might be the most people. I did miss one of the dev chats, but I think that's the most people we've had on stage in a single session. I think it's such a great way to get direct feedback, and my feeling is that these questions that are asked, a lot of people are also asking the same questions. So I think it's a really great thing, and thank you for coming up and actually voicing your questions and concerns and everything else. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a lot of like constructive, valuable feedback whenever we do the chats like this. Because I mean, the community's here, they can have like, I don't want to say a one-on-one conversation, but like a direct conversation where they can just bounce a couple ideas back and forth. And sometimes that's all it takes to light a spark.
That's it. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that's joined us today. We've got a lot of exciting content coming up. A lot of it is at the moment last minute, and it is surprising. So we do know it's a bit rapid fire, but we do appreciate your patience. And most of all, we always appreciate your feedback, because we come with these ideas for what we want in the game. And by the time we actually launch them, they're usually drastically different. And they wouldn't get that good without all of your feedback. I also want to give a quick little shout out to everyone that jumped into the party rooms today. We hope you liked it. It looks a lot more smoother. Pumpkin Plaza was heaving at one point. I think it'll be great opening this up, adding a bit more activity into these rooms. So thanks everyone that jumped in and had a chat. It's always nice meeting the Bumpkins face to face.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Plaza. Go ahead, Spencer.
Oh no, mate, it was going to be a sentimental closing. You're great at that though, so I'll leave it up to you.
No, it's your time today, mate. Go for it.
I was just going to say thank you. I definitely would mirror everything that Craig said. I love getting feedback from the community. I love hearing people say they love the game. It really just kind of like gives you so much momentum to keep on pushing forward. I'm really, really excited about where the game is heading. I'm excited to get out of the hole that is multiple Bumpkins at the moment and come up for air and start working on some cool stuff moving forward. But yeah, I'm super excited with where we're headed. And thanks. I really appreciate everyone being here today.
Yep. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you like the plaza. It looks like people are really having fun there. I'm having fun. There's a lot of people around. So
Yeah.
thanks for joining. Yeah, go ahead, Roulette.
I was gonna say, yeah, we were having a great time on the beach party. A lot of conversations were striking up. There were a couple of people coming in, like trading resources with each other. It was a good time. It's nice to just be able to interact with other people in game.
I'll join you on the beach, mate. All right. I think that's all. Thanks everyone for joining. Seasons goes live tomorrow, so spread the word. There's still some players that might have some questions, so please do your best to help inform them based on what you heard today. And we hope you like the season. We'll catch you all later.
Yeah, happy Solar Flare season. See you all Friday, maybe on the weekly wrap up.
Yeah, thanks
see you, everyone.
everybody for coming up to listen and coming up to talk. We definitely appreciate it, and we hope you have a good whatever time it is you're at now.
That's everyone, mate. Thank you all. See ya.
Bye.
See you later.